About the topic which I would be deliberating today with you all is women in leadership roles and women, how women are leading the way. We all know the International Women's Day is an occasion to celebrate the progress which we as women are making in our with different phases of life, and how the society as a collective ecosystem is attaining a momentum towards achieving gender equality. This year's the United Nations theme for Women's Day has been Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, in recognition and celebration of the achievements of women in various fields. If we talk about our country, India, India has seen how in our religion, how in various religion, women have been almost treated at, if not at par, but I would say at a higher pedestal, and they are the goddess. And if we talk about our society, we have seen a patriarchal mindset society from last many generations. But yes, of course, things are changing for good. In last so many years, in last so many decades, there have been changes in the mindset of the society, which is in turn helping the women acquiring and attaining the leadership profiles and the roles at various platforms. So if we talk about the world per se, world has witnessed the advent of women leaders. Women leaders are making their presence felt not only in entrepreneurship, also in administration, education, health sector, science and technology, sports also, and not only at the regional level, but also at the national and global levels. They are now resolved to break the traditional glass ceiling that earlier barred them from entering the leadership positions. If we talk about the representation of women in civil services, since I belong to that fraternity, I would mention that in India, as of now, even today, the percentage of women being part of the police is not more than 10%. And I think the percentage of women who are part of administration as IS officers, it is not more than say 15 to 16%. And if we count other services like the Indian Revenue Service, Audit and Account Service, then also the percentage in total will not be exceeding 20%. So we all need to understand the reason why is this happening and what all the society can do to improvise the situation further. Women leadership definitely brings in more gender sensitization, gender orientation. And if we have more women at leadership profiles, they help in creating gender equal opportunities, gender sensitive policies, and even the United Nations 2030 agenda, of which India is also a partner nation, the UN SDG Agenda 2030. It also talks about the importance of achieving gender parity. So if we are talking about gender parity, having women in leadership roles, we can today see women excelling in almost all the professions. I am very happy to see today the of company secretaries, having so many women company secretaries who are not only heading the organizations, who are working as practicing professionals, who are also becoming the presidents of the chapters of ICSI, who are also even, I remember Mrs. Preeti Grover, she became the president of ICSI a few years back. So all these things, and of course at world level we have seen Angela Merkel, Kamala Harris, Madam Obama, and how our own country has seen the women leaders in the form of Indira Gandhi, Sarojini, Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit ji. So all these faces, all these forces have shown the mettle, the grit and determination of women. If we see various profiles, if we see various arenas, so women have been playing various multiple roles. They are playing the role of an educator. They're excelling in their field as professors, as teachers. Women as part of workforce, especially during COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen how women as part of the health workers, how they have been able to not only portray their strength, resilience, but also they have worked with their grit and determination and helped the humanity face this challenge. And not only as part of the health workforce, but also as part of police, as part of administration, as part of various other services, women have shown their resilience during COVID-19 pandemic. And so as to say, women as global volunteers, not only in our country, but across the world, across various countries, they have shown their determination. And we all very well understand the issue that when women are empowered and when they claim their rights and access to land, leadership, opportunities and choices, economies grow, food security is enhanced, and prospects are improved for current and future generations. So it is very much imperative, it is very much important that we give that support, we nurture our young girls, our female, and we enable them to lead in the society. We also need to understand various issues which women are still facing. We can see inequality, whether it is the work front, professional front, or at the domestic front. The issues of dowry, the issue of early marriage, child marriage, crime against women, domestic violence, even COVID-19 pandemic, especially the wave one, in which the first wave in which the lockdown was quite prolonged. We saw how the cases of domestic violence being reported across the country rose to an extent. We also have seen the issue of female feticide, female infanticide. And so many crimes against women are still happening. And it is also one of the reasons we are seeing that many a times our young girls are not able to acquire their education, so as to say the higher education properly, because of the issues of lack of security, lack of transportation facilities, lack of access to the various opportunities at various levels. So we all, as collective part of the society, we all need to understand these issues and try and eliminate, try and reduce the impact which all these things can have in our society. India as a country, we have seen so many legislations have been enacted to eradicate and to reduce, minimize these social evils in the form of Hindu Marriage Act, Special Marriage Act, Dowry Prohibition Act, the Hindu Succession and Adoption and Maintenance Act, Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention Prohibition Act. Of course, we have PCP and DT Act, which prohibits and which makes it a punishable offense with respect to the selective sex determination. So all these things are welcome steps. Along with that, I would also, since I have worked in government for say last 13-14 years, I would also like to mention in brief the initiatives which the government has been taken. Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Abhiyan has been a program which has mobilized the community, which has tried to improve the gender sensitization not only in the towns but also in the villages, in the panchayats. We have seen how our government is working towards ensuring and improving the economic empowerment, the financial empowerment of women through NRLM, the National Rural Livelihood Mission, through Ajivika Mission. We are trying to promote the vocational training of women so that they become self-independent. And when we are talking more so about the empowerment of women, it is not possible unless and until a woman is financially and economically empowered. So keeping that in mind, Mahila E-Heart, and various skill development programs, the employment opportunity programs are being run by the government. We also have seen to minimize the issue of crime against women. We have seen how so many states have the concept of Mahila Thanas, Mahila police stations, one-stop center scheme. We have seen how we have the counseling and conciliation mechanisms which are available at various districts and state levels. So all these are a welcome step. And recently in last, say, May 2020, Honorable Prime Minister had launched Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, under which the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the emphasis has been to promote vocal for local, in the sense the self-help group, especially women's self-help group, are being promoted through providing them marketing linkages, to providing them training, through providing them entrepreneurial, to improve their entrepreneurial skills. And all this has been a very welcome step. But what we need to do as a society, what further we need to do. We as women, I personally feel that first of all, a woman has to have faith and belief in her own capacity and capability. We also need to support each other. So sharing the workload, supporting each other, raising your voice. It is also important that we all raise our voice against the issues which we as society are facing. It is also important that if you are feeling, if you are being prejudiced, you have to raise your voice, you have to raise that concern. And it is not that it is only happening with you, it may be happening with other women also. So you have to understand that. And if we all decide that we will not, so as to say, tolerate, then definitely society also will not be tolerating. So we need to know our rights, we need to educate our children. So when we talk about educating, it is not only sensitizing the girls of their right, but it is also sensitizing the men, sensitizing the boys in the family, that they have to respect women, they have to protect women, and they have to give them an equal say in the society. So that is also important. And of course, I think the hand holding, giving support to each other, that is all very important. And I would emphasize again here one point, that financial and economically empowerment is important when we're talking about the empowerment. And a research also shows that when a woman is working, when women earn money, they try to reinvest at least 90% of the income which they are earning. They would try to reinvest that money. So they would be more conscious about the needs of her family, of her parents, of her children, and they would try to mobilize the resources in form of savings, in form of so many things which may be helping the family and society. So women are entitled to safety, inclusion, fairness. We all need to improvise on that, and collective efforts need to be given towards that. I would also like to mention that in these years of journey, my working in Haryana and Tripura, I have seen how many a times women want to do a lot many things, but sometimes they don't get support from their family, from their parents, sometimes they don't have access to the resources. So it is important that if we want to have more women in leadership roles, it is important that we give education, we give skills development, we give vocational training. Also, it is important for the society to support and nurture. Last year on my social media handles, I would like to share that I started a campaign on which I requested the people to share the unheard stories. So by unheard stories, I meant that there are many women who are working at their level, who are facing the struggles in their life, and they're moving ahead. And not only they are empowering themselves or their families, but also empowering the other women across themselves in the society. So I received at least 8 to 10 stories, and one or two stories I would like to mention. There's a lady called Sheetal from Delhi, and she many years back she started making meals for the stranded daily wagers. And initially, because she did not have money and resources, so she could cook only 10 meals per day. But then with the support of other people, she could cook up to 200 meals a day. So this was a collective effort in which she was then able to help the migrant, the daily wager laborers. And then this campaign became so large that it is now today serving around 7 to 8,000 meals. That is not a small thing. So this was a small initiative, small concept, which then got the support of the society, and people came into it as a collective effort, and this could happen. This year also, I have initiated similar campaign. And yesterday, I received my first story about a lady, Parul Agarwal. She has been a champion in the cause of blood donation. So she has been advocating the cause of blood donation. And during COVID-19 pandemic, she has helped so many people save life because of her these kind of efforts. So why I'm sharing with you all is that we should not think that we don't have money, we don't have resources, how will we do? We just need to start once. And once we start with a good intention, with faith in our own self, things automatically fall in line. In my so many years of field experience, I worked in Jhajjar in Haryana, I worked in Gurugram, I worked in Ambasa in Tripura, I worked as a DM and collector Gomti district. I have tried that this entire issue of gender discrimination, how to improvise gender parity, women empowerment, girls empowerment. I have tried to contribute my weight, even though because of the time constraint, I won't be able to detail here. But I would just mention that we all have that capacity and capability within our own selves. So let us all salute the indomitable spirit determination of Nari Shakti on this International Women's Day. And there is no limit as to what we as women can accomplish. We all complement each other. We all should support each other. Let us all keep highlighting the achievement of the importance of achieving equality for women and girls, not purely because it is a matter of fairness, but also if we are not moving in parity, there would be an imbalance. And countries with more gender equality have seen better economic growth. Parliaments with more women will enact legislations which would be more gender sensitive. It will have more social issues like health, education, anti-discrimination, child support, etc. So we all together can continue to be the momentum of change. Towards the ends, I would just like to conclude by mentioning one or two anecdotes. So Swami Vivekananda ji had rightly said that all power is within you and you can do anything and everything. So believe in that and achieve your goals. So we have to believe in ourselves and keep achieving our goals. डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर जी हैड वेरी राइटली सेड, उन्होंने बोला कि मैं किसी समाज की प्रगति उस समाज की महिलाओं के द्वारा की गई प्रगति से आंकता हूं. मैं किसी समाज की प्रगति को उस समाज में की गई महिलाओं की प्रगति से आंकता हूं. Even Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam had said that empowering women is a prerequisite for creating a good nation. Empowering women is a prerequisite for creating a good nation. And when women are empowered, a society with stability is assured. When women are empowered, a society with stability is assured. I would just end my talk with a Hindi prose कि कोमल है कमजोर नहीं तू, कोमल है कमजोर नहीं तू, शक्ति का नाम ही नारी है, जग को जीवन देने वाली तू सबसे बलशाली है, जग को जीवन देने वाली तू सबसे बलशाली है. So if a woman can give birth to a new life, there is nothing in this world which she cannot achieve. We all just need to support, nurture and empower our women, our girls, each day, every day. And each day belongs to us. We have to feel happy that we are women, and let us all keep supporting and contributing towards the nation and society. Thank you so much for having me here. A very happy Women's Day to all of you. And my best wishes to ICSI for all such good initiatives. I feel very privileged and honored because I belong to the same fraternity. And the love and respect which I receive from the ICSI family is always overwhelming. My best wishes to the entire team for your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your address and highlighting the various initiatives of Government of India taken care by towards the women. Now I will be asking few of the questions if you are available for the questions, ma'am.
Yeah, I can take, I think, 2-3 questions. No problem.
Yeah, please. Ma'am, according to you, how to overcome the personal and professional barriers impacting women for reaching the highest levels in the corporate world?
So I think personal and professional barriers are also for men. So I would just like to begin by saying that we all have so as to say, a mindset, a prejudice that only women have to take care of the families. See, times are changing. We have seen how male counterparts are also now shouldering responsibility. I do agree. I will not refute by saying that, of course, women have more responsibility in the sense of the some responsibilities which have been given to us by nature. For example, bearing a child, giving birth to a baby. And these are the initial years in which you are settling your career and also you are settling your family. So we many a times we see that your personal and professional life may not go in tandem with each other. At one point, when you are in initial years of career, you will be in field, for example, and as an officer, I can share that when you are in initial years, you are in field and you are supposed to have that sense of delivery of public service. You have the profiles in which you are being transferred regularly, and these are the times when you are also having your family expansion, especially after marriage. You will have kids, so this balance definitely needs to be there. And it is irrespective of the fact a woman is in administration, in government, or in private sector, in corporate sector. So that balance definitely needs to be maintained. I would, I think, like to say it like this, that we have to prioritize. So which thing is more important at what time? And there may be some occasions in which our professional responsibilities might be having a little bit importance than our personal commitments. So that balance we all need to make. And sometimes it may so happen that our personal commitments, personal obligations need us to be at home, to be with our family. So that adjustment, that balance we all need to maintain. And I think women have been doing it very nicely and in right spirit. We all just need to keep our spirits high. I think it is very important that you have to be optimistic, you have to be positive. There has to be a clarity in your thought and understanding of what is your requirement, what is your goal in life. And I think slowly and steadily we all learn, we all end up in maintaining a good balance, whether it is a professional front or at a career front.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next question is, like, we have read your story as how you were juggling with your LLB, CS practice, and your preparation for the civil services examination all at the same time. You are an inspiration for many women. Participants would like to know, how do you manage all these at the same time?
So I think I would just mention that it was way back in 2003 when I was doing my graduation from Shriram College of Commerce. And during that time, actually, I came across civil services. Till that time, I had this idea in my mind कि मेरे को civil services में जाना है. And at that time, I was also doing CS. So my 2 stages were complete. After my CS was complete, and I was in the 3rd year of graduation. So when I discussed this with my parents, especially my father, there were a lot of apprehensions. Firstly, it was a total shift from my being in corporate sector or in practice to a government setup. Then nobody in our family, we belong to a middle class business family in Panipat, Haryana. So nobody in our family had ever thought of appearing in civil services. So this was also a surprising shock for them. And then selection in civil services has been always very tough. So, and even after selection, which service you will get, which rank you will get, which cadre you will get, and settling the family life. All these challenges were there. So, but then when I discussed this, say approximately for 6-8 months, then my father said, okay, if you want to do, you should have a plan B in life. So by plan B, he said, ki if I am not able to clear civil services, then what will I do? Because he firmly believed that if you are having so much of education, a girl should be economically independent. She should be earning for her own self and family. So then I took his advice. 2003, I completed my graduation, become honors from Shriram College of Commerce. Then 2004, I completed my CS. And in 2004, I took admission in LLB from Delhi University. In the same year, I started my part-time job as CS to gain that experience and also to start earning for my own studies. And I also started preparing for civil services. So from 2004 to 2007, These three things were parallel in my life. Focus, of course, was on civil services preparation. I was doing part-time job as a CS, and I was also attending law, which was a LLB regular classes from Delhi University. So it was not easy. Of course, it was very difficult. I appeared for my first attempt in 2006 for civil services. I wrote mains, the second stage, but I did not get an interview call. Very much demotivated, dejected. I was confused, but then I recollected my own, all my strength. And I said to myself, ki now the attempt which I would give, it would be my best attempt. I should give all my efforts possible. So in 2007, I wrote the exams with the blessings of Almighty, with support of my parents, my clarity of thought and direction. I could thankfully clear the civil services. The results came in May 2008, and I got All India rank 13th. So these years, specifically from 2004 to 2007-8, they were very tough for me, and balancing all this has been very difficult. But I think time management, clarity, then focus. You become selfish. In fact, you have to become selfish. If you want to achieve something in life, you have to become selfish with your own self. And I would like to mention that clearing civil services, I think, was much easier than surviving now. Now, as part of service, I have experienced that every day is a new challenge. You get unthoughtful scenarios, sometimes law and order issue, elections, VVIP duties, some organizing some melas, visiting remote areas in the district. So all these have been very challenging, but at the same time, a very satisfying experience. I think I have learned a lot, and it has been quite a satisfying experience to be able to contribute towards the society and nation building in my own capacity as an administrator.